Okay, here's our video on solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. So we already know what inequality signs are, and we know we can solve inequalities just like we would do linear equations, right? We just have to be careful we have an inequality sign instead of an equal sign. So here we have m, a variable, it could be any variable. We have m plus 12, and it has to be greater than 12. So we'll just solve this like we would solve a linear equation. We minus the 12 on each side. Remember, we'll do the opposite operation. It's a plus here, so we're going to minus it. That cancels out. And we remember, whatever we do on one side, we're going to do on the other. So here we have m has to be greater than 0, not equal. The common mistake is we put an equal sign here. We're doing inequalities. So m has to be greater than 0 for this to work. So m could be 0.1. That's greater than 0. So we can put it on a graph, put a line graph here, and we'll just put some numbers down. And we'll say that here's m. We'll put a circle. We'll make that m. And it has to be greater than 0, so it has to go this way. Now, if it could be equal to 0, we would fill it in. But since it has to be greater, not greater and equal, just greater, we're just leaving the circle open. And we're going this way, because this represents m. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, this is g minus 12 is less than or equal to 24. Remember that inequality sign. Less than or equal. So see if you can do this one. Pause the tape, try this, and graph it, just like we did in the last question. Okay, so now we see a minus 12, so I'm going to add 12. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And remember, I'm adding because we started with a minus. We'll add 12 on that side. Right, now we have g is less than or equal to 36. It could be 36. That's what that sign means. G could be 36. So let's make a graph. Right, and we can just, let's go up by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Need more room. Just make that 35. So g, and we'll make this 36. So here's our circle. This is 36. Bring that over. Now g has to be less than or equal to. So if it's equal to, we can fill it in and bring the arrow that way. Because remember, it could be 36 or less. And just to double check, if we did 12 minus 12, it's 0, and 0 is less than 24. So, and if we did 36 minus 12, we would get 36. 24. 36 minus 12 is 24. And right here in the inequality, it says it could equal 24. Okay, let's do one. What if we had the equation on the other side? Not the way you would normally see it. What if we had negative 12, and I'm saying it is less than m plus, we'll just say m plus 8. Bring that over. Now, normally you see it like this. You see m plus 8 is greater than negative 12. Well, it's the same thing. Doesn't matter how you do it. If you're used to it where the variable's on this side, then do it on that side. But it doesn't matter. So if it was on this side, again, you don't want to get rid of the minus 12, the negative 12, because that'll make a 0. You want to get rid of the 8, because again, it's next to the variable. And we want to get the variable alone. So we're going to minus 8. That cancels out. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Now remember, this is a trick here. It's minus 12 minus 8. So it's negative 12, which is like minus 12, minus 8. So think of keep, change, change. It's minus 12 plus negative 8. And you'll get a negative 20, because 12 plus 8 is 20. So that'll be negative 20. So now we have negative 20 is less than m. Now we can graph it. Okay, so we'll make a graph. Remember, we're saying negative 20 is less than m. So let's make a graph. And we'll put it up here. Negative 20 is less than m. Right? So we can just Put them by 5, negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20. So that's negative 20. And we'll make a circle. And so that represents m, and m is greater than negative 20, so it'll go this way. We're not filling it in because we're not saying it's equal to. We're saying it's greater. We're not saying it's less than. We're not saying it's greater or equal. We're just saying greater. Let's say the truck carries at most, key word here, at most, 2,000 pounds of dirt. It already has 240 pounds of dirt. So what kind of question can we have here? Well, you can make a question is how much dirt does the truck have? And you're just simply subtracting, right? So we're saying the truck, so we can use the letter T if we want. So the truck has at most. How would you write at most? It can't have more, so you can't put this. You can't put this sign because then you're saying it could have more. No, you're saying at most. The truck could have at most. That means it could have, or it could have less than 2,000 pounds of dirt. But we already know something else. We know the truck already has 240 pounds of dirt. So this is the truck plus 240 pounds of dirt. That's will be less than or equal to 2,000 pounds. That's how we can write it. And we'll do a lot of these word problems. So in the next video, we'll talk about some word problems with inequalities. Great job.